Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and good evening again, good people. Good evening. I hope everyone is doing well on this Sunday evening. As you can see, I came on a little earlier today. I hope everyone is okay with that. I actually came on, let me rephrase that. I came on earlier this week versus coming on Monday. I decided to come on today. I was led by the Lord to do that. And so I did exactly that. So I hope everyone has had an awesome Sunday. I know that you're probably relaxing and preparing for your Monday morning like I am, but it has been an awesome day. So good evening, good evening. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for joining. Hello, Juanita. How are you? Hello, niece. How are you doing? Love you. Thank you for coming on. Everyone that is hopping on in the room, come on in the room. 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 Please do like, tag, and share. Come on in the room. Come on. As you know, as you're hopping on in the room, every week we have been choosing a theme to go by, right? So every week we have been choosing a theme to go by, to encourage one another, to lift up one another. So every week we have been choosing something to go by, to lift up one another, to move one another into our purpose, into our destiny, into our next, right? And so this is no different. Hello, Timothy. How are you doing? Hello, Tony. How are you doing, sis? And so we have been talking about something every week. And so today I kind of, I've been working and trying to relax a little. I'm going to be posting up some pictures of my daughter's. Oh my gosh, we had her 11th year birthday celebration yesterday. So if I look tired, it's because I am. If I look wore out, it's because, my God, I am. If I look like I've been through the valley, it's because I've been. If it look like that I've been low, but the Lord brought me back, it's because he did. My God from Zion. When I tell you, my God. Hello, Darrell. How are you doing? Hello, Shadika. How are you doing? Love you. My daughter turned 11 yesterday, and when I tell you all that my God from Zion, listen, she's still, hello, Chanel, how are you doing? Love you. She turned 11, and so we had this soiree at my house, this seafood boil, because she loves seafood. So her mother and I, we hosted this seafood boil at my house yesterday. And if you still hear a little bit of noise, she still has her friend and then my niece, her cousin, still here, but it's over tomorrow. So we had this gathering yesterday, my God from Zion. I felt the effects of it. Hello, Kim. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. I still feel the effects of it. So we had this seafood boil. Oh my gosh. And she enjoyed herself. And I am so glad she did. But when I tell you, it felt like when I woke up this morning, I said, my God, it felt like I went through the valley. It felt like, hello, Jamar, how are you doing? Thank you for joining. Hello, Kalila, how are you doing, sis? Love you. Thank you for joining. It felt like I woke up this morning and I looked around and I said, God, it felt like I have been through a fight with the enemy. My God from Zion. When I tell you I was tired, that birthday party wore me completely out. Thank you, Kim. Look, I can't express it enough. Hello, Walter. How are you? Thank you for joining. Please do like, tag, and share. Chanel, listen, Chanel, When I tell you, I said, what 11-year-old wants a seafood boil? One. And then not only did she want her friends to spend the night, one night she said, Dad, can I have a 2-night slumber party? Brio, you asking for a whole lot. And then her mom, her participation was help with the party, but then she got to bounce out because she got to go home because, the slumber party was at my house. I said, my God from Zion. Oh, my God. But it ain't going to be like this next year, because next year, at the gathering. Yes, Kim. You heard me. Hello, Carol. How are you? Thank you for joining. Hello, Armisha. How are you? Thank you for joining. Next year it's gonna be at her house. Hello, Bishop Bird. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. And I'm gonna be able to go to her house to the gathering and then bounce out. That's how this is gonna work next year. Because the next big one is 13. So since I had 10 at my house, 11 at my house, you're going to have 12 at her house, and then I'm going to bounce out. That's how that's going to work, because that's fairness. We believe in integrity. My God, something just went through me. We believe in integrity. And when I tell you, I'm still tired. And I said today I was just going to relax and rest up. But then I forgot about my day tomorrow. So then today I was working and planning for my day. I said, Jesus, you know what? This is just not working out the way that I anticipated. I said, the things you do for your children, my God. Oh, but next year for 12, I can't wait for her mama to do it. Oh, and when I tell you I'm going to roll in and bounce out like she did. Oh, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my part, roll in, shit to ya, my God, and bounce out. But it ain't about that. So let's get to the matter at hand. I just had to get that out so that I can be redefined with you all for the week. So I want us to be redefined together. So please like, tag, and share. So please share this on your page right now if you have not. Again, every week we have been, you are planning your time. Listen, Kim, I'm still tired. I'm still wore out. Look, they are in her room right now, eating pizza, doing their thing, watching videos. Listen, Kim, I'm reclaiming my time and the time of Isaac, Abraham, and Jacob. Hell, listen, doing the best I can. Hello, Shada, how are you doing? Listen, she brought in 11. I'm going to put up some pictures on my page when we get off of here. Hello, Doug, how are you doing, best friend? Listen, I'm reclaiming the time of me and some of the apostles. My God, I'm trying to tell you. But my baby brought in 11, and she was happy, and that's what it's all about. But I kept telling myself, I'm going to get, Sunday, I'm going to relax, do church, virtual church, then I'm going to relax. Then I forgot about my day on Monday, and I did not get a chance to relax. But I said, you know what? It's all right. She brought in 11, but next year I'm going to her mama's house and bounce. That's how that's going to work. Oh, shit to ya. Oh, that's how we going to do that. My God. Hello, Raven. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. So, if you have not shared this, share it to your page. Please do. And if you are an entrepreneur on here and you have a business, please put your website or your page or let us know that you have a business so people can go to your page, your website, because that's what it's all about. It's all about us filtering people so that we can support one another. So sometimes I say that, sometimes I forget, but when I saw Kim and Raven hop on here, so if you have a business or something, please do specify that in here so people know, so that they can also be redirected to your page to be able to check you out. So every week we talk about something. So today when I was working and I was kind of praying and I was like, okay, Lord, for this week, what are we going to be discussing? And so really for the entire month, thank you, Chanel, for putting that in there. Thank you, sis. So really for the entire month of August, the number 8, So really for the entire month of August, we're going to be talking about the choices that we make in our life, because there's so many choices that we make, and really everything that we do. Absolutely no problem, Kim. And Kim, we need to connect this week, and we will do that. Everything that we do in our life, whether it's our personal life, our business life, financial life, everything that we do starts with a thought. So everything that we do in our life starts with a thought. There is a seed that is planted, and it begins with a thought. Whether it is a positive thought, whether it is a negative thought, everything that we do begins with a thought. That is why we make changes, because there are times we make not so good decisions. So we have to go back and we have to begin to alter some of the decisions that we made, whether it is relational decisions, relationships, the relational decisions. So who we were with. Hello, Marquel. Thank you for joining. So whether it was relational decisions, hell, we have all made those decisions. Whether it was financial decisions, whether it was business decisions, whether it was ministry decisions, whether it was friendships. So we have all had to go back and alter some decisions that we have made in our lives, because everything that we do begins with a thought. So it is the seed that is planted, and it begins with a thought. However, what we also have to do is we have to be humble enough to say, what do I choose to do? Because sometimes we don't humble ourselves to say, what do I need to do? What are the tweaks that I need to make in my life to be the best me that I can be? And so this week, that is what we are going to do. Let me rephrase that. This week, that is what I urge you to do, is to begin to really look at your life. Hello, Gerald. How are you? Thank you for joining. I was talking to someone. It was so funny. I was talking to someone, a new client of mine. And, I always do the pre-course session before I bring clients in, because I don't want to waste their time and their money, and I don't want to waste my time. And my time is my expertise and my money as well. And so they were talking about relationships. And so they were asking me, how do I feel about people that are busy? And they really can't get people in and cannot give people attention that they need. And so my personal opinion to them is I don't care how busy someone is that if they really want to make time for you and fit you in their life, they will do that. And you will not have to question how important you are in their life, because it will be evident. It will be evident that you sit on a pedestal above everyone else in their life. I'm not talking about their children, and I'm not talking about other people. Hello, Leon. Thank you for joining. So I'm not talking about, their children and etc. But when you are important in someone's life, it is evident that you take precedence over other people around them. So I said, for example, and I use me as an example, and I said, it is certainly a process. It is a process. So I told them, even for me, like one of my exes had to take me through that process. Like they had to tell me, Jesse, no, to close the laptop. Like, because what I do is such a passion of mine. It's not just a job. So they had to tell me, babe, shut down the laptop. No more phone calls. Hello, Keith. How are you? Thank you for joining. So because what I do is not just a job, it's my passion, they had to tell, babe, shut down the laptop. No, that we said we were going to do this. Hello, Michael. How are you? Thank you for joining. No, babe, we are on a vacation. Why are you doing business emails during this time? Now, if we are just laying in the bed and we're not doing anything, sure, check your emails, do that. But we are on the boat and you're checking business emails. No, babe, no. So it's a process. And we have to remember that as humans, we go through a process. And so it's okay to go through a process with someone, but do we want to make the change? And we can't be so prideful to where we say, there's nothing wrong with me and I don't need to make a change. Because there are some people that are so arrogant, they say, I choose not to make a change. Hello, Amber, how are you? Thank you for joining. And then there are some of us that can say, you know what? I choose to look at reality. Because mental illness is not accepting reality. Mental illness is walking around in a real world and creating your own fantasy and believing that that is reality when it is not. That is a mental illness. Now, I'm not speaking of, this is for the deep saints. I'm not speaking of, us taking scripture and saying, looking at those things that be not as though they were. Because we do walk by faith and not by sight. But I'm working to make those things happen. So I'm not an entrepreneur saying, God, shower down the business plan on me. Fool. Go stand in the thunderstorm. Come with me. Thank you very much, Michael. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. That's just too deep. No, in the process of you praying, you need to be gaining earthly knowledge on what it is. Who are your competitors? How do you properly align a business plan? What is incorporated in a business plan? What wisdom do you need? Because reality is that we do not like to admit when we hit those bumpy roads of fear. Because me being in fear, now I'm vulnerable. Now I'm coming to you and saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. Hello, Sean. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. And I'm going to need you to help guide me in this season. And a lot of us do not like being in that vulnerable area. But guess what? Because we are human and because we're not Jesus, so because we are human, we all are going to have those vulnerable moments. Where we make the error is because we do not ask God for wisdom like the word tells us to do in the book of James. We go to the wrong people sometimes and to the wrong things. And so when we are in our vulnerability, when we are open, and then when we walk in greater destruction because we did not utilize wisdom, then we get pissed off at people around us because we're saying, well, why didn't you tell me? Or why didn't you show me? Or why? No, you did not ask for wisdom. Because the Bible tells us if you lack wisdom to ask God for it. But if you are too prideful and if you are too empty, and catch this, not just prideful, but if you are too weak, because weak-minded people can't think with a rational mindset. So that is one thing I always ask God for, is to keep me balanced. Because even in areas that I walk into in this thing called life, that we all are in, there are going to be some areas that Jesse is going to hit and I'm not going to know the answer. And I don't want to be so scared to where I get weak and I become this feeble baby to where I'm so weak that I just turn to anyone or anything. Hello, Sandra. How are you? Thank you for joining. So now, although I'm a strong person, I'm in such a land of unknown. Now I'm so weak, I just begin to take answers from anyone that looks and sounds like they know what they're talking about. But yet I don't want to be so prideful because I've been hurt and broken so much in my life that I don't trust anyone. Because those are the people, let me put a pin right, let me put a pin right here. Let me put a pin right here. Those are the people that stay by themselves at 60. And I tell deep folks, yes, I say it in the churches. I say it in the parking lots. I say it in organizations. I say it in my office with clients. I say it when I'm on my video Zoom with clients. I say it on my telephone with clients. Hello, Mia. How are you? Thank you for joining. I don't care how spiritual and deep you are. Spirituality is not legs in the bed. Spirituality is not your pillow talk. So I tell people, I don't know who all remember that old Vicky Winans song, As Long as I Got King Jesus, I Don't Need Nobody Else. And you may hear me singing it because I love it and I love the song, I love the beat. But ask me if I believe as long as I got, the devil is a liar, because Jesus is not coming down and rubbing his legs on my legs in the bed. And I don't care how often Brielle, my 11-year-old, hello Tom, how are you? Thank you. Because she will come and hop in my bed in a minute, sometimes in the middle of the night, and I do not know why. She will feel free to come hop in the bed. Those legs is not somebody else's legs, not the legs that I need to come in the bed in the middle of the night. And if your kids' legs are doing you justice, then you need to come see me, because there's another issue. My God, but we're going to leave that alone tonight that we need to discuss. And so we have to make sure that we're balanced in our lives. I don't want to be so fearful that I can't grow, but I don't want to be so prideful that I can't grow. So I have to make sure that I'm making proper choices and that I'm remaining balanced, so that I can always make sure that my ear gates are open to the right thing. Again, I'm human. So not saying that I'm not going to make mistakes, but let me think of how often I can help pitfall some of the mistakes that I make if I'm well balanced and have greater wisdom. I was talking to my 19-year-old, my college baby, Brianna, and I was telling her about some of the support system that she has that some of us didn't have as we were growing up. With me, I'm a single father with her. She's been with me for approximately 8 years now. And even with now I got to get used to 11-year-olds, and she turned 11 yesterday, because I'm going to be saying 10 for a while. Even with my 11-year-old, Trisha, her mom and I, we co-parent well together, and we are that support system for her. So our communication, our language is the same. Let me put a pin right here too. Why is our communication the same as we co-parent? Now, I'm not saying we don't disagree, but hell, if we were married, we would disagree. Why? Because we are two individuals. We are individuals who would come together, and for those of you that know, with my dissertation I just wrote, I deal a lot with the homostasis unit. A homostasis unit is a codependent unit, but yet remaining as individuals. So we're yet two individuals codependent on one another. Why? Because we are a team. And it's the same way in a marriage. You're a team. You are individuals, but you are a team. I tell people now, again, I got to put a pin here. I tell people now, you cannot be in a relationship with the attitude that if you broke, it's all right because I got money. Where in the Sam's hellion did you get that from? In middle school, I moved with my grandparents. They were married for 70-something years, as most of you know, before my grandfather passed. So I just have this old school relationship mentality. And to me, hello, Robinson, how are you? And so to me, because I saw this old school love, and I tell people, we all saw different things in our home. But for me, in the Sanders home with my grandparents, married 70 years, to me, if one broke, guess what? We both broke. If one has finances, guess what? We both have finances. In addition to that, you do not allow demons to come into your family unit to bring destruction. What do I mean by that? This also is incorporated with choices. When I see couples that have no discipline, so they lack self-discipline, and this is how I can tell when there are a lot of individual issues. Because one thing I do not do, and this is why I'm not with one of my exes, one thing I do not agree, and everybody may not agree on this, and it's fine. This is why we're individuals. I don't agree in having some disagreements in front of the public and in front of my children. When some disagreements I know are real hot and heavy to us, we need to table it. We need to table it because I'm not happy, and hell, I know you're not happy. So we need to table it because we're giving the people a public show, and there are some things that my children do not need to hear. And so when you have grown and healed, you have discipline. You can always tell when some people are still in the process of learning themselves, because people that are still learning themselves, their self-discipline is not as fine-tuned. And so we always have to self-check that. And it doesn't make one more superior than the other. We just have to make sure that we're always confronting ourselves at where am I on the spectrum scale. Does that make sense? Where am I on the spectrum scale? And so when people always ask, like, and I always have clients when they're like, how do you and her do it? You know, me and Trisha, Brielle's mother, how do y'all do it? Do you ever disagree? Absolutely, we disagree. But you know what? We're two healed adults. Hell, she's remarried. I moved on in my life. I don't want her. But we respect each other. We realize we have a daughter who is healthy. Even when we go into parent-teacher conference, we have teachers that say, if you two could only do a course, to other parents. Hello, Kevin. How are you? Thank you for joining. They said you two could only do a course. Why? She's married. She loves her husband. I'm not married, but I don't want her hell. She knows that. And so because we're healthy, we can have a healthy daughter. We can have a healthy homostasis unit, right? And we can move through the process. And when we have disagreements, we're able to say, let's step back for a moment and reevaluate this. And there is no winning side because we're a team. So again, because we're a team, there's no winning side. So there may be times her view may be the best view, and there may be times my view may be the best view. And hell, then there are times neither one of our views are the best views. So then we have to create a new blueprint and say, this is the best view. And so you constantly have to check yourself to say, we need a new choice in this. I need to make a better choice. A, B, C, or D. What do I need to do? And when you are making choices, this is for the single people. When you are making choices, A, you do not settle. That's A. This for the single people. And I'm not talking to the people that's in it's complicated situation. Because hell, I still don't know why Facebook has that option. I tell people all the time, and I'll say it again. To me, there is no gray area in relationships. It's either you are or you are not. And if you are not, go ahead and give each other, a hug. And now you got to give each other a hug in the Lord with COVID-19 and just move on. You do not compromise with where you are going. Because again, a lot of people make decisions out of desperation. Do not place yourself on the clearance rack while you're on this road, on your detoured route, making new choices. Do not place yourself on the clearance rack. And now that portion is not just for single people. Hello, Leon. How are you? Thank you for joining. That portion is not just for single people. That's for everyone. Do not place yourself on the clearance rack while you're in the process of making choices. Make sure you know, A, while I'm making choices, I need to accept myself, not the who you desire to be. Because that's where a lot of people mess up, is they start to look at, well, this is who I want to be. That's great. Take that, set that to the side for a moment. We'll get there. We'll get there. But where are you now? We need to address the present. Not where you desire to be, but we need to address reality. Where are you now? Because that's what's the most imperative, is your present. Where you are in your current state. Because you're trying to jump stages by getting somewhere when you have not addressed where you currently are. So we have to accept where I am now. So after I address where I am now, right? So now that I addressed, this is where I am, I acknowledge it, I have to digest it. Because that's the hard part for a lot of us, is I acknowledge this is where I am. Now I have to digest it. And there is a difference. Because saying it to yourself, like, for example, I can be an ass. Not just to some people, but to all people. Now, why am I an ass to everybody? Okay, now I know why. Because so-and-so broke me so bad the last time. And I thought I let it go, but I didn't let it go. So now I'm just evil to everybody. It hurts, but it's reality. I have to digest that. And it may take you sitting for a moment to digest that, but digest it. Why? Because you sitting here praying and waiting for your Mr. Good Thing or your Mrs. Good Thing. Why does the Lord want to send one of his favorites, which I let people know I am one of his favorites? Hello, Tierra. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. Why would the Lord want to send you somebody great and you are a demon on wheels? What? That is a setup from hell. You are a demon on wheels and you asking the Lord to send you somebody that's whole, healed, and delivered, and somebody that's genuine, and somebody that's ready to be a great partner, and you are evil because of somebody that hurt you 3 years ago. Negative, Ghost Rider. Negative. You're skipping steps. You're skipping steps. No, we have to deal with why you are a demon on wheels. Choices. I choose to stay here or I choose to address it. But I have to acknowledge it and then I have to take my moment to digest it. Okay? All right. I've been with you all for a moment here. I love our redefining talks. So this is where we are this week. We are discussing our choices, the choices that we make, where we are, where we're going, not settling. For those of you that have been dealing with people that are just squeezing you in, like I told you, the person I talked to yesterday, I told him, listen, I can't tell you what to do. That's one thing Trisha taught me years ago. I remember she was talking to someone. She was coaching another lady, and she told the lady, she said, I can't tell you to stay or to go. Now, that's something I did not gain from college. That's something my student loans did not teach me. I ain't paying them for that. However, so that's something I never tell people, to stay or to go. But choose what you decide to be in. Do I decide to stay in this? And so you choose. And do I deserve better? And this is their journey, but this is my journey. So I'm not going to allow anyone to pull me into their journey, because this is what I desire in this season. And this is my journey in this season. And this is their journey in this season. And I have my own choices I have to make in this season. So I'm going to accept what my reality, where I am in this season. Yes, I have the things that I desire to obtain, the places I desire to go, but I have to accept my now. All right? So what is your now? What is your present? What is your reality? Not your fantasy. What is your reality? You know, it's funny because I remember my friend, she's an attorney here in Columbus, Christian Manning. She was teaching a relationship course. And in her course, we had to make a list. And I never thought that I could think of what I would desire in a partner, like making a list. But in this course, like, we had to make a list of like what we desired in a partner. And like, I was able to make this list, and I thought, wow, I never thought I would be able to like make a list. Like, these are the things I desire. Like, these are the things that would make me happy. In a partner. And to just know that this is a part of my journey. But because it's embedded in me, I would have never known it had I not sit in her course that she invited me in that day as, a mental health expert to come in. I was coming in there, but I participated in that exercise, and it helped me. And I'm like, wow, I would have never known this. And even in me, working hard, and I just don't say I'm busy. I have 4 days and productive days. And when I talk to people, and people, if people want to date or talk to me or whatever, and sometimes you can get lost in those full and productive days. And you have to remind yourself, no, this is not a part of my journey. I got to get back. Because when you've already been delayed enough, you have to remind yourself, this is not a part of my journey. No, this is not a part of my journey. And it's okay to remind yourself of what's a part of your journey. And it's either you stick to it now or stick to it later. But reality is that you will be committed to your journey. A lot of people deal with foolishness now, and so they just waste time dealing with foolishness now, and then the foolishness unravels their journey, and then they have to start over again later. But sooner or later, we have to commit to our journey. And that includes who and what we bring into our journey. Do you understand? All right. Hello, Raphael. Thank you for joining, sir. So, if you missed some of this, go back to the beginning. Please do share this on your page. So this month, we're dealing with our choices that we make. That's what we're dealing with the month of August. So not just the week. We're going to wrap this in the month of August. The choices that we make. That's what we're going to do. We're dealing with the choices that we make and the people. And you need to remember this, and I was sharing this with someone. When you decide that you're going to do better, the enemy has a way of trying to bring in people and things to throw you off track, and you have to remind yourself, we tried that before. It didn't. No, we tried that before. Ain't doing that again. And it's okay if we tried it and it didn't work, but I got to keep moving because I've been delayed long enough. All right? So this is your turn. It's your time. Make sure you get the notifications when we come on. And I look forward to connecting with all of you. But this is going to be a great journey. I look forward to it. Make your list, whether you write it out, whether you type it in your phone like me, because I just type. So whether you write it out, whether you type it in your phone, make your list of your choices. What are my choices that I have made, I'm going to make, and what do I need to digest? All right. I put our website on here. I pinned it. So please do check out the website. I love you all. Have a great redefining Sunday.